afternoon. This video is a individualized routine for a patient, so by all means you can use this. It's for creating a little more strength and stability for left hip external and lateral stabilizers. So I know this might not be for you, it's informative, but you know, I'm not advising anyone to specifically do this as a therapeutic routine unless I specifically send it to you through an email. So you can use it for education, but keep in mind this might not be the right fit for you because this is catered specifically to somebody. So let's get going with it. The first two things I'm going to go start with are just some basic stuff. I know you have a history of yoga, so if you're very comfortable with belly breathing, you might not necessarily need to practice this, but if you want to, for a minute or two prior to exercise, connect with that diaphragmatic breathing, putting a hand just below the belly button and putting one just on the chest, making sure you're getting a full breath, deep, mostly through the lower, trying to push into the pelvis, trying to get that lift through the stomach and not expanding the chest. From there, you can practice a few co-contraction cues. What I mean by co-contraction is when you tense, I want you to create rigidness as you're performing all these exercises, such that the trunk feels very stabilized and connected. It should be very rigid and you shouldn't be bending or extending to facilitate more stability into this area. So you're trying to just connect the lower back and abs or core with these motions as well. So imagine that there's a string attached from your belly button to your spine and you're creating tension such that both sides feel like they're being engaged. So as you notice, I'm doing it right now. I can still breathe and talk, and I'm doing it about 40% my maximum capacity. No major issue. I can hold it fairly well. I can hold it fairly constantly. This should be something that you should try to engage through all these exercises I show you. So now let's begin with some stability stuff. So the first two are going to be on the floor, and then we're going to switch over to the belly. What we're going to do is get into a bridge position. We're going to rotate this left foot outwards. So I'm just, you see I'm externally rotating the foot. I'm getting a good fix or a plant. And what I'm doing is I'm bracing, and I'm simply just going to provide a small engagement with that glute. I had to do it in the office, and we're just going to translate that into the routine as well. So I'm really focused on just creating a drive through here, very gentle, a 3 to a 5 second hold, continuing to engage through here very gently. Mostly trying to feel that engagement through here more than anything. We're trying to just fix everything, so this is very isolated. 5 second holds. You can do it 2 sets of 10, or just run through full 20 reps and do 1 set. From there, we're going to grab a band. You can start with something very light, double it up, put it so it's around your knees. So it should be already kind of resistive at that length where your knees are in line with your hips still. We're going to engage that core. You're going to go up into a bridge position. And what you're going to do from here is swivel those knees outwards. Hold for 3 seconds. Come back in. Disengage that bridge. Bridge up. Press out. 3 to 5 seconds. Rotate back in. Disengage the bridge. This one's going to be done at 2 sets of 10 reps. From there, we're going to move the band down to the ankles. We're going to roll over onto our stomach. So with this one, I'm just going to move up so you can see it on the camera. With this one, you can either go into a plank position, so you're kind of up in this position, or you can get like a towel or some platform that you can kind of hold your body up a little bit more with. But I like to do this in like a plank position, as I said. And I'm moving down to the ankles. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to simply just try to rotate my heels out. And I'm rotating outwards with my heels, and I'm trying to also press my hips outwards as well. So with this one, what you should feel, a very gentle engagement of that lateral glute. I'll show you, this might work a little bit better with you right now with like a Bosu ball, like I said, like a small platform. something that's a little angled, so you can come up a little bit more. So I'm engaged up in this like plank position, and once again I'm rotating those heels out and also pressing outwards. So I'll show you from a backwards position here. So there we go. So once again, rotating those heels out and pressing those hips outwards. I'm really feeling a lot of that engagement right through here. Okay, so now let's provide some stability challenge now that we have a couple little strengtheners. I know this was a test that I caught you on, but this is also something that you could do to provide yourself a great deal of education about this stability. And then we'll give it a little challenge. So simply just trying to fix that foot down, distributing the weight to the outside, almost like you're going to do like a lift. So hold that position. You're going to want to really engage that glute. So you're going to go into a little hip extension, brace the core, and simply, once held and fixed in that position, you're simply going to try to lift that right leg up without getting any rotation inwards. And also see how the knee's straight. You don't want to see something where you're coming out, you're having to rotate out, you're having to rotate in, or in any of these variations. You want to see it perfectly straight and perfectly stable. So fix that foot, brace, up. Everything should be nice and straight. This might be, a foreign, difficult thing for you to start with, but try to do 10 reps and 2 sets of this. If that's too easy, what you can do is get a band, put it against the, slack it up to the rig. So you're going to hold it a little bit upwards, about eye height. You're going to bring the resistance down, and you're going to engage and have resistance already at your disposal before you go into that that leg drive. Okay. So, if you have any questions about that one, let me know. So the last one I'm going to give you, we're going to keep it pretty easy at the start of this. All the other exercises that you've been given so far, you can continue to do. I think they all look pretty good. We're just adding and being more specific, like I said. Alright, so the last one, I'm going to have you put a band around, and you're going to have it just above the level of your knees. Okay, you can, in fact, if it's too loose, you can bring it up near your thighs. So what you're going to do is get tension on it prior to you going into this. You're going to bring your arms up over your head, and what you're going to do is just get that left foot planted and straight. You're going to try to bring that right leg out, and then bring it back in. So you might want to get a tighter band. I don't have one that's that loose. But you can do this even without resistance. So you can grab a PVC pipe, and once again you're going to go in that engaged and rooted position. Okay, overhead, nice and tight. Foot out, touch the toe. Come back into the center. So this is more about engagement through the glute. Once again, I'm extending and holding that extension as I try to challenge and do a little bit of a sideways abduction challenge from the opposite leg. So this is really having to hold my body inwards as I do this. Okay, and there we have it. That one you can do, once again, 2 sets of 10. I do this daily, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see how things are going.